Hi, this is Linda Janasz, the founder of Mindful Alliance. And I want to thank Gilda's Club so very much for creating this platform because mindfulness matters, and perhaps more now than it ever has been. So today's topic, I'm going to explore something that is very near and dear to my heart. How do we learn to be more self-compassionate? And it's not easy when most of us have had a lifetime of self-criticism. You know, today's psychology tells us that being kinder to ourselves can actually change our lives. That by learning, and that's what's important, we have to actually learn to cultivate this, to develop some self-compassion, and I will tell you, in turn, self-love can increase our mental and our emotional health and actually help us be more motivated in a real sustainable way. Not just like, oh, I'm feeling motivated to do this and it lasts for a couple of days, but in a real sustainable way. I know that for me, it was and still is one of the hardest things that I've worked on cultivating. I had never been kind to myself, whether I had had unrealistically high standard, which can often be challenging to fulfill. It made most things that were just good make me feel like I just couldn't be good enough. You know, somehow I used to motivate myself from a place of harshness or stress myself, you can do better mentality, you know, that inner coach going, come on, this isn't quite good enough. And that faulty thinking often prevented me from developing courage and reduced my inspiration. So I usually ended up feeling frustrated that could lead to self-defeating behavior, the kind of mentality of like, why even try? So the idea of cultivating loving kindness for ourselves can seem foreign to most of us, particularly here in the West. Self-criticism just often is our second nature. So self-love can make a world of difference for how one can live in their day-to-day experience. I know firsthand that developing self-love can have a direct connection to becoming happier, to actually becoming happier. So this practice is called metta, not the kind of meta awareness where we talked about being aware of what's going on in our mind, but METTA. It's a kind of practice that allows us to befriend our own mind with kindness. It's the attitude, and I'm quoting, boundless, warm-hearted feeling for ourselves. And over time, this can actually extend to others. Ultimately, this practice allows us to respond to our own mind and the sensations of our emotions that arise in our bodies with a kind of generosity, not criticism, which in turns ultimately allows us to truly feel that things are good enough and we're good enough. You know, Rumi, the great Persian poet, said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. You know, when our thoughts are discursive or mean or frustrated or angry, our body listens and responds with the sensations of discomfort. We can't control our thoughts. And when we respond to ourselves with even a bit of loving kindness, old tendencies like impatience soon become more patience, and unkindness turns to kindness. You know, I often see in the individuals that I work with who have spent years of self-incrimination and self-sabotage slowly open their hearts and their minds with just a bit of sunlight and warmth, and this changes everything. Sharon Salzberg, the great meditation teacher, said, through loving kindness, everyone and everything can flower again from within. You know, the strength already resides in you. This is watering the seeds of goodness and nurturing what is already there. It's not looking for it elsewhere. You know, when the Dalai Lama was asked, what is the purpose of our lives? He said, I think that that's probably a question that we all ask ourselves, whether we think about it consciously or not. What is the purpose of our life? And he said, I believe that the purpose of life is to be happy. From the moment of birth, every human being wants happiness and does not want suffering. Neither social conditioning, nor education, nor ideology affect this. From the very core of our being, we simply desire contentment. From my own limited experience, I have found that the greatest degree of inner tranquility comes from the development of love and compassion. He said this, and I think that the place of self-love and self-compassion is that place to start. So we begin by honestly, truthfully having some self-awareness for ourselves. What's our own pattern? Do we motivate ourselves with stressful, frustrated ways of, come on, you can do better? I think that self-awareness is that important place to start, honesty. So by creating an intention to actually, and it needs to start in an attitudinal way. It's not selfish, but understanding that this kind of intention empowers us to have the emotional energy to develop resilience and courage. This kind of attitude allows us always to improve our self-acceptance. So to me, self-compassion means we get to begin again. Every day is just an opportunity to start over. So let's begin the practice. Let's, as we do with each practice, take a breath, sit up in aware, open posture, and let's soften our gaze. What could compassion look like? What could kindness to our mind state and our emotions look like? What could acceptance of this body that carries around our spirit? Accepting whatever, wherever we are right now, with the intention of open-hearted kindness and ease. I think we really need to ultimately ask ourselves, do we want to be happy and live with ease? Do we want to be happier? And if you can truly answer, yes, I want to be happy and I want to live with ease, evidence-based research says our body is actually listening. So our cells, our telomeres, the end of our cells that indicate how how fast we're aging, listens to our intentions. So by actually having the intention, and let's explore this together. Let's explore this phrase, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, and may I live with ease. May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, and may I live with ease. Notice the rhythm of this. I begin my day every single day, reminding myself that I am open to being happy. May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, and may I live with ease. Sharon Salzberg reminds us that for all of us, love can be the natural state of our own being, naturally at peace, naturally connected, because this becomes the reflection of who we simply are. Inhaling these words, let's notice how this feeling. And when the mind wanders, which it will, redirect it. And note the feelings, the sensations, even the self-judgment. Cueing ourselves to be happy, to be healthy, to be safe, and to live with ease. Let's take a breath. I'd encourage you to try this because I know firsthand that with regular practice and some consistency each day, this cues us, reminds us that I do have the desire to be happy. And this becomes more of our state of mind and heart. And if you are feeling particularly distressed or uncomfortable, sit with this 10, 15 minutes even. Our research tells us that meditation is dose-based, a dose-based practice, which means the more that I do, the more immediate benefit I receive. It's like taking medication. So if you need more meditation, please feel free to explore this. With anything, like even medication, you may not feel the benefits immediately. They do take time, but you are worth it. And when we've had a history of unkindness, this empowering practice can take a while to manifest. I've done research, I've done my own personal research, and this daily reminder I know makes an important difference in our well-being. So I pray that you are happy, that you are healthy, that you are safe, and that you live with ease. Because no matter where we've been or what we've done, that beautiful spirit that resides within us, most of us have forgotten or neglected this for such a long time. Opening your heart and mind to exploring this practice will nurture you. So for now, for who you're going to become, this magnificent, uncertain, curious, and frightening and interesting path called life. May you be present and may you be blessed. For Mindfulness Matters, this is Linda Janasz.